Well, PayPal says it won't be building its new global operations center in Charlotte. The company says North Carolina's passage of a new transgender law violates the values and principles that are at the core of PayPal's mission and culture. The recently passed Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act puts in place a statewide policy that bans individuals from using public bathrooms that do not correspond to their biological sex. About 100 companies have blasted the law. The PayPal facility was expected to employ 400 people. It says its decision, quote, reflects PayPal's deepest values and our strong belief that every person has the right to be treated equally and with dignity and respect. A federal lawsuit has been filed over the measure. The state's attorney general says he won't defend it in court, but in the court of public opinion, Governor Pat McCrory and other supporters of the measure have staunchly stood behind it, saying it's about protecting privacy. So Charlotte's loss could be El Paso's gain. And joining us to talk about that is City Rep Peter Schwarzbein. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's talk about why Charlotte's loss could be our gain.
Well, you know, PayPal has shown that you know, for them moving their business there, it's more than just the incentives there, but it's also the culture of the place they're moving to. And with North Carolina's draconian and offensive law that they passed last week, there's a very real effect there. And so I thought that, you know, El Paso, with its history of diversity, of tolerance, of being a welcoming community of all kinds of people, this is an opportunity for us as a city to speak out about those values that we find important, and to maybe, you know, catch the eye and the attention of PayPal.
And when I was reading that story, it was kind of jargony, so I just wanted to make sure it's clear for the viewer. What Charlotte did was they passed a law that said boys can't go into girls' bathrooms. Or can you explain what happened?
So the law that was passed by the legislature in North Carolina basically prohibited transgendered people from being able to use a restroom.
Okay.
There.
And Rep. Beto O'Rourke has also chimed in on this, saying that El Paso has been at the forefront of civil rights, especially with the 50th anniversary of
Texas
UTEP.
Western.
Exactly.
You have Texas Western. We were one of the first cities that desegregated public spaces in the South. You know, we had, you know, the first Mexican-American baseball state championship in 1949. We've had a history of inclusion and diversity that goes beyond borders. And I think that when we have an opportunity like this, where a company is very publicly pulling out of a city because of discrimination, we owe it to ourselves to speak up with pride about those things that make El Paso what it is, about our history of diversity, about our history of tolerance, about the fact that you can live in a city with great weather, great people, a good quality of life.
Yeah.
What company wouldn't want that? And for myself, being in this office, I'm going to do everything I can and be as proactive as I can to be an ambassador and tell El Paso's story.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because of course we know El Paso's awesome, but how are you guys going to prove it to PayPal and get those 400 jobs here?
So, you know, it's a bit of a long shot, but it's better than doing nothing and sitting back and saying, oh, I wish PayPal was coming here. So what my office did is we came up with a press release. We sent it out to our newsletter group. We put it out on Facebook, put it out on Twitter.
Yeah, let's talk about that. You guys have a grassroots movement as well. Everybody's hashtagging PayPal or getting
they're hashtagging PayPal. You know, we had the Amigo man come in with Visit El Paso, telling PayPal to come to El Paso. And from what I understand as well, our economic development team is actually reaching out to PayPal as well.
Okay, so when can we expect to hear something?
I couldn't quite tell you, but I encourage everybody to visit facebook.com/PayPal, or go on to PayPal, their Twitter, and let them know that we want their business, and tell them why you love El Paso and you think El Paso is such a great place for their company to move here.
Absolutely.
We owe it to ourselves to be as prideful as we possibly can.
To generate some jobs here.
We got a great opportunity and a great story here in our city.
Okay, you heard it here. Go to Facebook and get on this grassroots movement. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks.
We'll be right back after a short break.